distinguished career and will now cap that off as serving as Grand Marshal for the Toyota Saave Mart 350 today. He'll say, drivers, start your engines before the race and attend the driver's meeting. So, Vida, I believe this is your first NASCAR race. I know you've been out on Friday and met some folks already. Maybe you can talk about that.
Yeah, I came here for a IndyCar race just with a friend. Just came in and watched a couple of laps, and I had left. I didn't realize it was going to be as noisy and as many people coming in and out. I got stuck in the traffic, so that's why I left so early. But other than that, it was enjoyable to watch the race. But I did come in Friday. Steve Page called me a couple of weeks ago and asked me would I participate in the event. I said yes, I would. It's a pretty neat thing to have on your resume, the Saave Mart 350. So that's pretty cool. Met some folks from Saave Mart at the mixer the other day. We participated in the children's
Charities Grand Marshal banquet on Friday night.
Charities dinner, and that was pretty nice. I got to be interviewed and talk about my career, but this is cool to have on my resume that I was a Grand Marshal at the Saave Mart 350 race.
And you met kind of a big name, famous guy on Friday night.
I'm not an avid race fan, but I do watch it on Sundays when I'm at home if there's not a U.S. Open golf tournament on or something. No, actually, golf would be first, NASCAR would be second. Then I'd probably turn over and watch a little baseball. But when I first started watching races back when I was a younger person, the guy that I always watched, who was the name of NASCAR at that time, was Richard Petty. I got a chance to meet him on Friday. He was so kind to take a photograph with me and autograph some stuff for me. But now I've learned about the drafting and all that stuff and restrictor plates and all that. And I learned that it's team competition versus a individual driver, Ford versus Chevy and Dodge versus Toyota and this guy versus that guy. And they do drafting and all that stuff. So it's pretty interesting when you get into it to watch how the races take place and how guys will block for one guy and draft for another and shoot the gap, and you can kind of have radio communications on that we hear between the pit crew and the driver, which we get to hear sitting at home, and how the spotters tell him how to go left or go right or slow down, and to pit, come get some gas now, and can we make another 3 laps on this tank? And my 2 right tires, she's pulling to the right, and I'm like, how the heck they know all this stuff? But I sit there with with a lot of interest to see how it plays out, and I've heard people say that these guys aren't athletes, and you got to be an athlete to sit in that car for 2 hours at the most of the time, and you got to stay totally focused. Not like, you throw a pitch, the guy fouls the ball off. In between pitch, I can think about where I'm going to eat dinner at before I throw another pitch. But out here on this track, things are happening so fast, and the cars are moving so fast, and that you don't have time to relax because you got to stay so focused on what you're doing, handling your car as well as watching out for the other guys and gals that are out there.
Excellent. Do you have any questions for Vida? Good.
Welcome, Vida. Don Lampert from raceono.com. Did you get a chance to get on the track?
No, I didn't, sir. My insurance probably would have frowned had I tried that. Plus, there's so much you got to concentrate on. If it was over track, I'd probably take a lap or two, but it's those cars are heavy, and I'm kind of faint of heart, so I probably wouldn't have done well out there anyway, but I chose not to. I might come back up and do it at some later day, but I just came up to support the race and be the Grand Marshal.
Hey, Vida. Phil Barber, Santa Rosa Press
Hi,
Democrat.
Phil. How you doing,
Thanks
sir?
for coming out. I'm good.
You know Lowell Combs, don't you?
I know Lowell pretty
go
well.
ahead.
He said to tell you hi.
Hi, Lowell.
Do you have a driver that you might be rooting for today?
Well, I talked about Richard Petty, and of course, Dale Earnhardt, the 3 car was a favorite of mine because he became the face of NASCAR at one point in time. Then his son came in. He was driving the 8 car. Now, does he drive the 88 car now?
88.
Yeah. But I was a big Jeff Gordon because he was a local guy, and of course the 24 car, which when I say 24, that connects me with Willie Mays, who is one of my all-time favorites. And having worked for the Giants, I get to see Mr. Mays all the time. He's getting a little up in age now, but when I played stickball, I always wanted to be Willie Mays. I wore number 24. But my favorite, I don't have a favorite, but there are guys that I do watch and admire and respect their driving abilities. I like the 14 car because that's my uniform number. But I like the '48 car, because he's a pretty good daring driver. And those are the two that I anticipate who, in my opinion, have a chance to win the races now. But there's so much stuff that goes on with these cars, the restrictions on them. And I was talking earlier about it's not so much the best car, but you really find out who the best driver is because the cars are pretty much, I guess, more evenly balanced out as far as the power that you can, the RPM that you can get up to, and the power and the horsepower that they allow the cars to have. But I heard about restricted place. I want to learn out what that was, and they're just trying to maintain a certain limitation on the cars for, I guess that's for player safety, I would imagine, and that should be first and foremost anyway.
I had one other quick question. What's the fastest you've ever driven a car?
Unfortunately, it wasn't on a road track. It was on 580 going home late one night. I had a Maserati. I was going about 110. I looked down at the speed armor and I kind of backed off. I didn't realize I was going that fast, but that was my first impersonation of being a race car driver, and only time.
Hi, Vida. Tom Fitzgerald, San Francisco Chronicle.
Hi,
Welcome.
Tom.
Did you say you got pulled over that time? Or
No, I just said I've gone that fast.
Okay.
And I shouldn't have said 580 because they'll be looking for me. I don't own the Maserati anymore anyway. I'm 64, so I've moved over at least 3 lanes. I'm in the old Sunday driver lane,
Now, are you employed by the Giants or the A's at this point?
My last check had Giants on it. So, yes, I
You're
still work
a consultant
for the Giants.
for them
Yes.
or whatever?
Yeah,
So
I do community work, yes.
Okay, so I guess that's going to skew my next question because I was going to ask you since...
I'll make something up. Ask me.
Well, good. So I know baseball is like your third choice when you're watching TV, you said, but which of the local teams is more likely to get to the World Series, the A's or the Giants?
Well, they got to make the playoffs first. They got to win the division.
Come
Both
on.
teams are playing great. 2 weeks ago, the rumor of a Bay Bridge World Series was a big conversation in the bars and the pubs and stuff around the Bay Area. But the Giants have hit a little skid, and the A's have the best record in Major League Baseball right now. So, the Giants won the game last night against the D-backs, so maybe they'll turn that around. But there's still so much baseball to be played. You can't predict who, even if you look at the schedule. Baseball is such a emotional game of highs and lows. You'll win 10, then you might turn around and lose 10. So the trick is to be playing well in September, October, I would imagine. I couldn't predict, but if I would have picked one, I would probably say the A's because they have a very well-balanced team, and they may have a little bit more depth than the Giants have, and the pitching probably matches up evenly. But I would give the nod to the A's as far as having a chance to win that division and possibly make it to the World Series. Hopefully they can get past Detroit if that's who they have to contend with in the playoffs this year.
Hi, Vida. Peter Fournier, Press Democrat.
Hi,
After coming this weekend and absorbing everything, you think you'll start following the NASCAR series more closely?
Probably. I just, I am a casual fan, but I understand, this is big business, and the NASCAR brand, they do a good job of selling them just as well as the NFL does, MLB and the NBA. They're selling their brand. And, just driving, I see fans with their favorite driver's shirt on with that number. I saw a guy in his just old regular street car. It was painted out like a NASCAR car. I'm like, what? But that's what they're doing. They're selling a brand, and they're winning fans over just like we do in Major League Baseball, football, NBA, and even hockey. I guess you got to give them a nod, too. I see a lady out there with a number 8 shirt on, looks like right there. So they're doing a good job of it. And I probably get a little bit more respect for the drivers to get a chance to see this in person. But I'm not sure if it'll make me any more or less than a fan. I'm sure I remain just as casual as I am now. It's good entertainment, I'll say that, and I'm sure that's what they're trying to sell too.
Any more questions for Vida? Phil?
Vida, you played for some A's teams that have gone down in history and been very important in the history of the game. They're still playing in the same stadium that you played in there. The stadium's deteriorated quite a bit since then, and they are having a very hard time figuring out their next move. Does it kind of pain you to see that franchise have so much uncertainty over it right now and where they're going to play?
Well, I guess so, but as a former player, players play, coaches coach, owners own, and managers manage, and politicians politic, and stadium rights. Somebody will write a check, but it's unfortunate that the players have to be caught in the middle of all that stuff that I just named out there. The players they go there to play baseball, whether it's 10,000 people or 20,000 fans, whether they're 10,000 fans rooting for Boston or the Yankees, doesn't matter. Players play, coaches coach, managers manage, owners own. Hopefully, the city of Oakland, Alameda County, even the state of California, hopefully they can get something done, because it's unfortunate that this is happening for such a great franchise and a great young team that's having great success right now. And it's unfortunate that the third deck of the Oakland Coliseum is even cordoned off, because who knows how many fans they would draw, because fans want to see good baseball, and the A's are playing good baseball. As I mentioned, they're a good young team, and hopefully they'll continue to be a good young team. So I don't know. I wouldn't dare to give my opinion about that publicly. I'd talk to you about it in private, but it's something that hopefully will get ironed out, again, by Alameda County, San Jose, and some of those .com companies who want to write a check for the naming rights of the stadium, and hopefully they'll get something done, and hopefully it doesn't create a issue where, we're going to sue you because, you're the Oakland A's, you're not the San Jose A's, and all that kind of stuff, which could easily take place. But, again, players play, managers manage, and the players just trying to stay out of it and do the best they can on a day-to-day basis, which is to do their job, which is what they're committed to do, and that's what they signed up to do. Did I dodge that good enough for you? Yes.
Bobbing and weaving. I didn't expect we'd see that so early in the day.
See what you learned from working for Charlie Finley?
Vida, thank you for being here today. We're very excited to have you, and we will see y'all soon. Thank you so much.